Whether you realize it or not, urban planning and walkability plays a huge part in our daily lives. From the sidewalks we walk on to the cars we drive and the streets that we drive them on, it's all determined by city planning and city prioritization. So come with me on a journey, and we'll discover how urban planning plays a part in our daily lives and how it affects what we do. Walkability, which is a huge aspect of city planning, determines the amenities that pedestrians can use, the width of sidewalks, the amount of sidewalks in a city, and contributes a lot to overall city health. And with different city boards and different priorities and different budgets, a lot of cities over the past couple of decades have been prioritizing automobile infrastructure over pedestrian infrastructure. So my question is, what happens when the sidewalk ends? To answer some of these questions, I sat down with Jason Claunch, an urban planner based outside of Dallas, Texas, and asked him some of these questions and how he's seen the industry develop over the years.
I would really consider urban planning more about, planning or designing places, more for social health and quality of life. So that can include, we talked a little bit before about it, infrastructure strategy, but that can include transportation. It also deals with just economics of place and how design can influence economics, environment, both, sort of social and natural, and also the physical or built environment. Obviously, through planning, you would want to consider sort of the built environment.
And then you're kind of talking about like that balance, and at least like from what I've been looking at like online, there's kind of been like this struggle between functionality over like aesthetics and livability we're talking about. So like, what are kind of like the big hurdles, and why are some places like, why do they get developed to be more on the functional side versus more on the, I guess, livable side? Like, is it just the priorities of whatever the local government is there, or is it resources or how much money they have, or what are kind of the determinants for that?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's social, or a lot of it's cultural, not necessarily social, but
Sure.
Those are related. I think a lot of it's cultural. Some of it's, sort of socioeconomic. You think about, different tiers, generally places with more higher disposable income.
Yeah.
Have the ability to sort of think about, things beyond their basic needs. And generally those places that have higher level of income, people can, have higher disposable incomes. And so people can think about things that are maybe more important beyond just functionality. Mm-hmm. And you start thinking about things that matter more, arts, culture, not to say that, people that don't make as much money don't appreciate art. But again, I think, if you're working 9 to 5 and, trying to figure out a way to, keep food on your table, then your priorities sort of change.
It wasn't always like this, though. Before the 1950s, cities mostly focused on pedestrian emphasization in their city planning, with wide sidewalks, plenty of seating areas and parks, and little pedestrian crowding. However, after World War II, with the production boom, as more and more Americans got cars, cities became more crowded and more focused on automobile infrastructure, pushing pedestrians to the sidelines. Well, it's certainly still a relevant issue. As the decades have continued, I'm not the only one that's realized this is a problem. In fact, many city boards have started focusing again on pedestrians and pedestrian planning, and including them in their city budgets. So while it certainly is a huge problem, the cause is not lost. I hope you've learned a little bit about urban planning and walkability and come to realize how important it is for your cities. If you care about this issue, please reach out to your local representatives and have something be done. Thank you.